It's your boy, Hash Info. Just listening to a little bit of Metallica. And oh, what happened? I turned the fan on. There she goes. Got a bit of a cup of a tea here. I took my vitamins so I live forever. Gave them to the wife as well, so she'll live forever alongside me. We have been, I think we already were quantumly entangled. Just couldn't remember our past lives, made some mistakes, had to come back, do it again. Getting the opportunity though, because not selling the soul, you know what I mean? Keep coming back, make mistakes, but not making that ultimate big mistake, you know what I mean? No tattoos on me, no markings, and I refuse to obey. Just saying. How you doing? On today's episode, this episode is about life. You know, you got cats, family, friends.
It is true that many Canadians are facing high mortgage costs, which is a major concern. While the Bank of Canada controls the benchmark interest rate to manage inflation, which directly influences mortgage rates, the Competition Bureau's role is to address competition issues. The Competition Bureau has been active in the financial sector by advocating for changes to increase competition, such as recommending the removal of the stress test at mortgage renewal for uninsured borrowers to help them switch lenders, encouraging the government to swiftly adopt a consumer-driven bank.
Okay, I'll feed the cat. Switch lenders. We'll pause on this for a second, and I'm going to read back what he said. The bot said switch lenders to make it easier for mortgage holders to switch lenders. Why would you ever switch lenders? Let me explain something. I'm going to ask the question if the rates are all the same. You got to hey, Tate, stop please. I got to get this cleaned up. Now, I'm going to get to some very specifics here. And I'm going to tell you all about it, okay? If you have to switch lenders because the rates are so extravagant at this one bank in Canada, okay? I don't know what was in this can of cat food. I got to call the company. They've been ripping me off already. But that was not even cat food. I don't want to get into it, but oh man, I gotta wash up here. And the cat's hungry now, so let me tell you about this. Why would you switch banks and go to a different bank for the same rate? So the Competition Bureau, they'll get into what they do next, but I'm going to ask you that if all the rates in Canada right now are the same. Like, first thing I did was I Googled it, screenshotted it, and if you do it and say what are the mortgage rates in Canada, there is no difference in the rates that you can find online. They are making it so you have to go in and see what you qualify for. There is no actual like suggested mortgage retail price for interest, like for interest rate. There are no rates. Sorry, not price. It's a rate. It is a number though. It's a physical number. It just, instead of a dollar sign, it has a percentage, right? But that percentage translates to a dollar sign that you pay monthly or bi-weekly or whatever you sign up for. 30-year amortization, 25, or variable fixed rate. These are all the different types of mortgages that you can get right now in Canada. And there's no difference between the major, whatever, 3, 4, or 5 banks. All are offering the same rate. The Competition Bureau's job.
Framework to boost competition. Investigating anti-competitive practices in the mortgage brokerage and real estate industries to ensure fairness for consumers. Scrutinizing major bank mergers, such as the proposed acquisition of HSBC Bank Canada by RBC, to assess the potential competitive effects. Additionally, the federal government has introduced other measures, like expanding eligibility for a 30-year mortgage amortization and increasing the insured mortgage price cap to try to reduce monthly mortgage payments and make homeownership more accessible.
So there's supposed to be, we'll have to listen to it again and I'm not going to talk. This is what they're supposed to be doing.
It is true that many Canadians are facing high mortgage costs, which is a major concern. While the Bank of Canada controls the benchmark interest rate to manage inflation, which directly influences mortgage rates, the Competition Bureau's role is to address competition issues. The Competition Bureau has been active in the financial sector by advocating for changes to increase competition, such as recommending the removal of the stress test at mortgage renewal for uninsured borrowers to help them switch lenders, encouraging the government to swiftly adopt a consumer-driven banking framework to boost competition, investigating anti-competitive practices in the mortgage brokerage and real estate industries to ensure fairness for consumers, scrutinizing major bank mergers, such as the proposed acquisition of HSBC Bank Canada by RBC, to assess the potential competitive effects. Additionally, the federal government has introduced other measures, like expanding eligibility for a 30-year mortgage amortization and increasing the insured mortgage price cap, to try to reduce monthly mortgage payments and make homeownership more accessible.
So, homeownership is, if they're supposed to be making it more accessible, oh boy. I'll ask this thing: how many people have been delinquent on payments? So right now, I think it's 80% of people don't have $1,000 to fix a major breakdown in their house. But let's check it out, because there was just a thing on this the other day. And in Canada right now, 60% of Canadians are up for mortgage renewal in Canada. Of a total mortgages in Canada, there's 6 million of them. 60% of those are up for renewal. So call it 4 million, 3.7, 3.65, 3.66, whatever it is. But listen to what they're supposed to be doing.
It is true that many Canadians are facing high mortgage costs, which is a major concern. While the Bank of Canada controls the benchmark interest rate to manage inflation, which directly influences mortgage rates, the Competition Bureau's role is to address competition issues.
So the Bank of Canada controls interest rates, which directly impacts and affects mortgage rates. It influences directly mortgage rates. So all we have to do, and I've been saying this since fucking day one, is we have to lower the interest rate back to 2%. So this is a game, right? Now you don't get what I'm saying, but I'll explain it. I'm pretty sure it was called SimCity. It's called SimCity. Okay. Now, SimCity was out in 86, 87. What year was SimCity released in North America?
The first SimCity game was released in 1989.
Okay, so I was 9 years old playing SimCity. Okay, I beat that game. I swear to you. I don't know if I actually physically beat it. I was pretty sure I did, but the game, I can't remember. Like, we're talking over 35 years ago plus. But I definitely conquered that game. Now I'll talk about it for a second. The game was very difficult. I was 9 playing a game that, go Google YouTube SimCity and look at the age of the people that'll be talking about it. I guarantee you they're like 60. They're like, oh, I love this game. Or older. Like, that's not even old. Well, it is getting old, but like, there could be 70-year-olds on YouTube right now having a full meltdown of how awesome SimCity was. Best game ever for that style. Ever. Now, that game focused on building an entire city from nothing, starting with 2 people and then creating 2 billion people. Okay? But you had to house them. You had to tax them. You had to check them. You had to poll them to see if they were happy. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So picture a big monster, not a city, but a continent. You started with a village, you started with a hut, and now you're a continent. You have airports, all this stuff. You have to really make sure that the fire departments are in the right places to make the people happy, to feel safe, right? Enough cop shops and keep the crime down. It actually populates criminals in your major city, right? It takes a number of the percentage of populace and turns them into criminals or whatever. But it's just a wicked game. So, but past that, go past that. Making the populace happy. Tiggs, please. Please stop. Oh, I find it hard to do a good show because it's just, there's a lot of stupid going on. You know what I mean? A lot. I forget what I was saying, but it's important, okay? So, they're not checking to see if people are happy. They're just continuing to squeeze and squeeze. This is how you know it's extremely dangerous right now. Extremely dangerous. Because every time they keep saying, I'll give you an example, they do these interest rate cuts and they have these meetings and they'll give excuses to why they think they shouldn't cut rates when they see only one group of people hand over fist getting richer. Now, there's a reason why they won't do anything. So, by taking away people's voices, what have they actually done? But take away your freedom, right? Anyone who wants to complain is looked at as a bad person when they're just simply trying to get a lower interest rate to live. This is where we're at. My heart races when I have to think about this. It's bad. And there's a lot of people that are deeply, deeply affected by these horrible paths that we're being taken on. We're being misguided, misled, and smoke and mirrors, if you want to call it that. They're throwing smoke everywhere, saying, oh, this is this, these people do this. Then it's like, quick, throw smoke there so they can't see nothing. And you don't get to know nothing. Nobody even probably ever heard of this group of people. I'm sure there's a boatload of people, oh yeah, I knew about it. How many times did you complain to them that shit's hitting the fan? You need to make sure you're protecting the largest percentage of homeowners in Canada right now. 60 fucking percent of the entire all mortgages in Canada are up for renewal by the end of 2025 or within 2025. This is insane. To keep the rates this high, for them to not push inflation, to fight inflation, which is a direct correlation of the high mortgage rates we're forced to pay because they refuse to. And 60% of Canada, that's 60% of homes. That's not, how do I word this? That's not 3.6 or 4 million people. Those are families. You guys are, I can't really get into it, but let's say the average family is 5. Just let's say. That's now 20 fucking million people. Do you know well, when you say 60 and you can do math pretty quickly at residential mortgages, don't you really figure pretty quickly that that's over half of Canadian homeowners? That's half of all Canadians that own homes. You have to word it like that. Because there's a lot of renters, right? It's just, I'm to the point where I'm so frustrated I don't want to do stuff like this anymore because it just falls on just dumber and dumber, you know? I can't be part of Dumb and Dumber. I don't want to correlate or talk to or collaborate. Nothing. No eights, no calls, no nothing. Because it's not worth it. I strongly feel, and it's a shame, but this is where it's at, that most are too far done. You know, you're not able to really understand things. And I appreciate the people who watch, but I just don't think I don't think people really get where we're at. But Canada is definitely has been in trouble for a long time. I've been saying the food prices in Winnipeg are insane. The gas prices are insane. The building material prices have tripled, like really, really, really insane prices. I've seen paint go up drastically, like just the dumbest of stuff that doesn't have a place going up that drastically. When you see what it is, like what the material is, it doesn't make sense. So lumber is going up. Like, are we running out of trees? This is the hilarity of how easily you buy into prices going up. You know what I mean? There isn't official documents that can prove, oh, you know what, actually, yeah, we are running low on trees. Did you know? USA there's no trees. You know what I mean? Like, there's no explaining wood prices. We are no longer able to mine for metals while we dig underground bases. I mean, tunnels, just tunnels. We're just tunneling for no reason. We would never have a big tunnel base down there. Ah, what? Who said that? Get down. But that's where we're at, guys. We're the only people allowed up north here are mining companies. You know what I mean? Like, sold your souls, most of you have. It's your last round, period. You don't even understand what I'm saying. But once you sell that soul to the devil, you think you get it back? You think you get to have a round two? What do you think an old soul is? When you say, oh, that person is an old soul inside this new person. Oh boy. Really, really comical though. I love people that claim to know everything, but yet can't see what's in front of them. You want some? Come get some.